If you're running a 5 million or larger painting company, the unfortunate reality is that the metrics and data that you're looking at probably don't help you answer the question, how am I doing this month? Am I on track this month? Are we going to hit our goals this month? And the reality is that most painting companies, the reports lag by 1 to 2, sometimes 3 weeks. And you don't actually know if you're off course until too much time has passed to correct the course. So, after working with nearly 30 painting companies, I've created a dashboard here that I want to walk through. And this is a work in progress, but it has all of the metrics. And I believe that it is the appropriate way to manage your business as an owner and give this dashboard to the key people in your business to help you identify where you're starting to slip and get off the mark and where you need to correct. So, let me pull up my screen here. So this is a dashboard of a $5 million painting company. And as you can see, one of the key things that I have here is that we have an owner dashboard, a marketing, a sales, and a production. I want to start on the owner dashboard because this is where I think the gold of this dashboard is. And that is, you set your goals at the beginning of the year for what you want to accomplish that year. And if you're smart about it, you would break those goals into months goals, which more people do. But I don't know very many people that actually break it down into weekly goals and have the ability to track the success of those on a weekly basis. And so what I'm doing here is I'm pulling in order for this business to hit the $5 million revenue goal by the end of the year, we have now distributed all their goals across by month. And I'm creating a single place to go and for the owner to be able to come to and see every single aspect of their business and where and which metrics they're starting to fall off on. So obviously at the top, you can see revenue. This is production revenue, their gross profit, productivity. This company runs hourly employees, so they want to know and make sure that they are producing work in the time that they think that it will take them. What percentage of their clients are getting report cards back to them? And then on the annual plan here, this is production revenue. So this is how much they've actually produced year to date. This is how much they have sold with their year to date actual production plus what's in the backlog. So they already have 3.57 million scheduled, either produced or on the schedule to get produced in the coming weeks. And then this would be their gross profit percent over time, their sales revenue for this year, 3.16, and then their RPE, revenue per estimate. That's the amount of revenue that they're bringing in for every estimate that they send to a client. And that's an important thing to track, which we'll circle back on in a second. Then down in this section here, I'm trying to turn it into a very chronological or customer journey model. So I have the summary of the most critical metrics, but then we can also look at all the details. So starting at the top, we can break down what is the marketing spend that this business is spending monthly, and what is that marketing spend as a percentage of the sales goal in that month. So, for example, these are their actual numbers. And side note on this particular company, they are not categorizing their marketing spend accurately. And so, when I showed this to them last week, it sparked a conversation of, oh, we need to talk to our bookkeepers to make sure that we're getting the marketing spent, like the credit card expenses on Facebook and Google and all the other places that they're spending money, attributed to the correct lead source or even to the correct account in their QuickBooks, because they've got some numbers that are falling through the cracks. But the point remains, the parts that they are correcting or allocating correctly, this is saying that in May they spent $12,000, and that's 2.2% of their revenue, of their sales revenue goal they spent in May. And their average cost per lead, according to these metrics, was $31 a lead, and their average cost per set appointment was $54. So again, I think this is like super valuable information to be able to have and look at on a regular basis. And I want to show you that we can actually go in and look at this month or last month and see how did we specifically do each week of that month of May, and how were all the metrics when we break down, like what was our RPE by week, or how many leads did we get in each week of May, and so on. And being able to see that and be like, wait a minute, 100 leads, I don't know about that. Click into it. It takes you straight to this particular like list of deals that made up those numbers. And so I can now come in here and say, okay, let's look at that. And oh yeah, that was a deal that came in. So you have the ability to pull that information up much more quickly and easily than you could in previous iterations of this. The bottom line is that the key principle that I'm trying to bring into life with this dashboard is that you have to have the ability to see how you're doing in real time and have fewer places to go look at how you're doing. And if you have to export something to see how you're doing, then and then import that's a waste of energy that can all be mapped and automated for you. So the vision here is that every single metric that I'm showing on this dashboard is going to be based on an actual plan that was entered in by the business owner and agreed upon by the management team. And then throughout the month, I can go in and see how are we doing on every single metric that matters. And if I see something that's off, I need to be able to click into that data and see what were the deals that made that up. Why did we miss that? And click down further. Same thing on the marketing spend. I want to be able to click on this marketing number, the 3,169, and see every single transaction from QuickBooks that is making up that number. And I want to see how much have we spent by source and all that stuff. So that's the goal with this, is to be able to show one place where I can go see how are we doing from a high level. And then when I have questions, it's super easy for me to drill in and see, okay, let's look deeper. What happened in these different sections, and what would I want to debug or figure out from looking at this data. So that's the vision with this dashboard. I'm just showing you the owner view, but then each other part of the business, marketing is going to have their own metrics. Sales has their own metrics. We're looking at RPE over the course of the year. How many estimates are coming up for each sales rep. On the production dashboard, we're looking at by week or by month, whatever you want. How much are we producing over time? What are the results, the gross profit percentage of each manager that we have, of our crew leaders, being able to do all that. I'll cover that in another video, but this is like 5 years of experience and working with nearly 30 painting companies. All this boiled down into, what do I believe are the most important metrics that you need to be able to see, and how can I give my clients access to that information? And that's what this is. So I'm super pumped about this. We're very, very close to releasing this to all of our clients. If you have other questions or things you want me to dive into, please drop a comment down below, and we'll see you in the next video.